What's wrong? All right. Hey, good morning. Good morning. Good morning, good people. Welcome to Dr. Roxanne Contee Show. I'm glad that everybody's tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to I tell you, y'all just got to sit back, relax, get your coffee, get up out of the bed, and get ready for Dr. Roxanne Contee Show because you're going to have a treat today. You hear me? You can have a treat. All right. So I want to introduce my host, Sharon Pearson, and we'll find out. Let's see, how was your week, Sharon?
Well, let's see. My week was kind of crazy. My usual SEPTA shenanigans. I call it. I need to have a SEPTA shenanigans show. There's always something crazy going on in SEPTA. But other than that, like I said, not too bad. But it's just a crazy week. I work at night, so I had to make sure I got my taser, boom. I got my 5 box cutters, boom. I got my switchblade, boom. And I got what I call my flamethrower, but it's not really a flamethrower because we know.
Well, what is this for protection?
For protection. The little things that you light the little grill with, so I'm good. Oh, and my bag of coins, so I'm good.
Oh.
But
so what was your week like?
It was okay, but I wanted to use it on some of my coworkers, but I might have catch a federal case because I work for the federal government, so I had to be chill. So yeah. But other than that, it was good.
Good, wonderful. You don't want to do that.
No.
We can't take that.
Brother Earl have to bail me out.
Yes. All right, I want to talk about things that's coming up. First of all, I want to give honor to God because God is the only one who got me up this morning. God is the only one who started me on my way. Sorry we started a little later, but I want everyone to know that we are here. We are here, and we want you to tune in. So I would like May the 21st, which is not May the 21st, is May the 27th. I'm going to do an interview for old school. It's going to be nice. He's going to have all kinds of guests coming in, and I'm going to interview the red carpet interviews. So check this out at the Canister's Place on 9130 Academy Road. So check us out on that date. And also in June, a lot of things are happening in June because that's my birthday month. So June the 26th is my birthday. Well, my birthday is June the 13th, but June the 26th is going to celebrate. We're going to have a table for Mike Jones, the Grown and Sexy Party, right at Commodore Barry. So come on out, get your tickets. I still have some tickets left for that. So I would love y'all to come and get some tickets. It's only $30. You can afford $30. Let's go. Let's get this. You can, everybody, if you want to go out and celebrate Dr. Rock, then come on out for that. Right. And on the 26th, is Cheaper to Keeper play. We're going to have a play called Cheaper to Keeper, and I tell you guys, it is Cheaper to Keeper. If you don't know it, you better get ready. Trust me, it's Cheaper to Keeper. So a lot of guys, look, I'm going to get rid of her. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Yes, that's what you hear. I play Topsy in it, and I'm a waitress at the bar, at the dance club. So come on out and enjoy. It's going to be great. It's going to be at the Commodore Barry, and it's going to be around 6 o'clock in the evening, and you don't want to miss it. So come on out. I sold my tickets for that, but guess what? If you want more tickets, let me know. Inbox me. I'll get more tickets out.
That's right.
All right. So Sharon, anything that, so much going on in this world. Oh, my goodness. The shooting, still going on. Every time you turn around, it's another crime and people getting killed. What you think about that? I mean, it's just sad.
You know what? It's kind of crazy because as bad as things are going in Philadelphia with the killings, we're not even number 1 in the nation. We're like number 16. So that's saying something. We're like number 16, and like it's just ridiculous. I mean, it's to the point where you don't even want to come outside with all these shootings. Right. And then you have the shooting in Buffalo that was racially motivated.
Yeah,
people act like racism is gone. It's alive and well. And it's sad because, like, you go to the supermarket, you can't even go to the supermarket. So, it's like, darn, I don't even want to go outside.
Yeah.
Like, when that happened, I was like, I don't even know if I want to go outside. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter if you live in Montgomery County, Lower Marion, because people act like stuff like that doesn't happen. It happens everywhere. So it's terrible.
It is.
And you can even be careful and watch what you're doing and you can watch your back, your brother back, your mother back.
Yeah, watch everybody.
And it's just
they just don't care who they shoot today, and that's sad about the Buffalo. You know what happened in the Buffalo thing. I really think that's so sad. You know, killing innocent people over race. Right. You know, over skin of color of the skin. I think it's really sad. Right.
And they're gonna say alleged. No, it ain't alleged. Alleged means no, it's not alleged.
Yeah, he did it. He knew what he was doing. He went out there and he decided he wanted to kill black people, and that's sad. Because he had to pray. He was very prejudiced, and I feel like it's a sad situation.
It is.
It's just so much going on. I mean, we can talk about the world. We can sit here and have a conversation about everything that's going on all day long, and it still will be here because of things that's going on out there in the world. But I gotta introduce y'all to our special guest because I would love him to get on because I want him to come and talk to you about everything that's going on. And he's a great person. He's a producer. He is a director of movies. And I tell you, y'all are going to hear everything he do, and he would definitely tell you. So I'm going to introduce you to him. His name is Robert Johnson. Robert Johnson.
Welcome, Robert.
Welcome.
How you doing? It's my pleasure to be here. And it's Robert E. Johnson. Everybody might know the E stands for Erskine.
Okay.
So, don't want to get too mixed up with all the other Robert Johnson.
Yeah, that is a common name.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. And, I don't know what you might want to ask me, but, go ahead and shoot it. If not, I can tell you a lot of things anyway.
Okay. Well, we're going to interview you also, but if you want to say some things about what you do first, and then we'll ask you.
Yeah, surely. I'm the CEO of Soul Records, which was started by Barry Gordy in 1964 as part of the Motown Record Corporation. Soul Records recorded Gladys Knight and the Pips. She recorded I Heard It Through the Grapevine on Soul Records. The Originals was on Soul Records. They recorded a song called Baby I'm For Real. I'll Never Hear the Bells. That was all produced by Marvin Gaye. But they were on Soul Records. Shorty Long, he recorded Here Come the Judge on Soul Records.
Wow.
And Gladys Knight, If I Was Your Woman, I Heard It Through the Grapevine, Midnight Train to Georgia, all that was on Soul Records. Fantastic Four was on Soul Records. Jimmy Ruffin recorded What Becomes of the Broken Hearted was on Soul Records. Matter of fact, Jimmy Ruffin and David Ruffin recorded Stand By Me on Soul Records also.
Wow.
And Soul Records, as a matter of fact, Frank Wilson, he recorded a record called I Do Love You. Honestly, I Do, that was on Soul Records. And Barry Gordy and him, I guess, wrote it together. But anyway, somewhere along the line, everybody wants that record. Somebody just bought one of them. I guess they found in their basement somewhere.
So I read about that, $30,000. I read about that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Somebody else found one, sold it to somebody for $30,000. They turned around, sold it to somebody else for $100,000.
Wow.
But I can't find no Frank Wilson records in my basement.
You can't find them?
That would be something, right?
No, plus I'm also the CEO of Erskine Entertainment and Mighty Works Media, which is, we do films, motion pictures, and commercials, and, a couple of films that we already worked on as an actor myself. One of them is, of course, the Chase Street television series.
Ooh, Chase Street.
Yeah, Denny Brown, he's the creator of it. Him, Benny Mattea, Nate Banks Sr., Nate Banks Jr., Thomas Freeman, exceptional writer. They put that together, and they did a phenomenal job. They got Clifton Powell, Vinny Pastore, from Sopranos,
Clifton Powell, I did see him on there.
Freeway, Gilly the Kid. So anyway, I am, one of the producers. I am also one of the judges in the series in episode 2. Season 2, episode 3, I'm the judge. And the attorneys in those scenes are actually attorneys that were involved in those incidents that actually you see in the series.
Wow.
They were the real lawyers. Chase Street. Matter of fact, I think it might be the only TV series right now on 2 networks. It's on Amazon Prime and it's on Tubi TV.
Tubi, yes.
Yeah. And that's, then also, we have a documentary which Nate Banks and Thomas Freeman or executive producer. I'm one of the producers of it. And me and Gavin Cook is also in it. Gavin's an attorney and a judge. Me and him both went to Rowan University, Seton Hall Law School. But we are in a thing called Live from Rawway, and that's basically around Rawway State Prison. And it's a documentary, and it involves James Scott mainly. He was a fighter that was in Rawway State Prison, had a life sentence. And me and Gavin Cook was his sparring partners. We used to go in there 3 days a week to spar with him.
Wow.
Yeah. And 2 other projects I'm working on. One is Cotton Club of Harlem, which we're doing. And in that one, I'll be playing Bumpy Johnson myself. Yeah, you know, and for people who watch Godfather Harlem, don't you ever believe he did that with Malcolm X, and don't you ever believe Bumpy ever sold drugs in Harlem, because he never did.
He did.
He never let anybody bring drugs across 110th Street. Matter of fact, he even created a little program to send guys to school. If you read Charlie Rangel's autobiography, you'll see how Bumpy paid for his education. You know, Mamie Baraka, he used to have a theater group that Bumpy had funded that we used to have, you know, and the guy who actually started bringing the drugs into Harlem and everywhere else in America was Frank Matthews.
Wow.
Not Frank Lucas. And meantime, I'm playing Frank Matthews in Black Caesar. Eventually, I believe we'll wind up casting a character that's a little younger than me to play him, because it's going to be confusing for the people to see me playing Bumpy and Frank Matthews.
Yeah, that might be a little bit like
I have to play Bumpy because I spend so much time with the kids. You know, we used to stay in Bumpy's house. Denny Brown's dad, Gary Brown, they used to come over to Bumpy's house and play chess with him. With Stokely Carmichael, used to give him money to stay in school. Yeah, yeah. You know, Bumpy was a great guy. You know, they got the wrong. You know, they got Forrest Whitaker playing, but you know, TV always perpetrating a fraud.
Right.
Frank Lucas never went to Vietnam. Bumpy died July the 7th at Wells Restaurant.
Wow.
And, you know, he liked chicken and waffles. Joseph Wells, that was his restaurant. Matter of fact, when he died, Judy Bird called my dad, told me he had a heart attack. You know, he ain't died with no Frank Lucas and all that mess, you know. Denzel did a great job, you know, but, you know, it was TV.
That's my
you see our
actor.
Black Seeds and Cotton Club of Harlem, you're going to see the true story. Gavin Cook is playing Jack Johnson. People don't even know it, but Jack Johnson had the Cotton Club before only Madden and white gangsters got it. Jack Johnson, the boxer, you know, people don't even know. It was Club Deluxe, and then it became the Cotton Club. And so, you know, we try to give history, the way it really is. You know, we try not to present a television series where it's so erroneous, and the new generation, see, they don't be knowing, you know, because when they see Godfather Harlem or American Gangster, they just take for granted that that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And they don't really realize, you know, in Bumpy's situation, Bumpy Johnson created, you know, he was, you know, actually they were enforcers. They started an enforcer organization when they were kids. And Casper Holstein created the numbers. That's how the numbers game came about. And they were developed to protect the numbers. You know, not no narcotics or drugs or nothing like that. It was basically the numbers. And that went from one city to another until you had numbers all over America. Matter of fact, they the ones that backed the Negro baseball league.
Oh, wow. Learn something.
Wow.
You know, I remember as a kid when Bumpy came around to collect, this was, you know, when Willie Mays, you know, his wife had the bar, and Bumpy used to send them the liquor every time they come to collect. She play hide and go seek. Yeah, I remember one time Bumpy said, "We just going to tear up all the liquor. She ain't gonna never pay nobody." And she came out and took care of him. I think she was a little older than Willie Mays. Because even if you notice now, even with Soul Records, you know, Marvin Gaye married Anna Gordy.
She was over there.
Matter of fact, they even wrote some of the music together that the original was recorded on Soul Records. And, you know, I believe Anna had the record label before Barry had actually started Motown himself.
Wow. So, you know what? I just want people to call up, because y'all hear the interview. Do you hear him? He has so much going on. I tell you, call up at 443-522-3988. If you have any questions, if you want to talk about or ask Robert Johnson any questions. Call up, callers. We're waiting on you to call.
You know, we're on label Soul Records now. You know, I have a lot of dynamic new artists. Of course, everyone knows Lady Jules. You know, she's Russian descendant. You know, her family originally from Ukraine. She was raised in Estonia. She sings in 5 languages, and we recorded a record we released by her last year that was considered for a Grammy, her first recording. It was called If You're Tired of Me. Bobby Eli and Ricky Starr wrote it. You know, Bobby Eli, you know, he wrote Love Won't Let Me Wait.
Oh, yeah. Don't say, look, I love that song.
Yeah.
I love that song. Love Don't Let Me Wait.
Yeah, and when, Until That Moment, which is another song that she sang. She has a dynamic voice, and we recorded it at Rob Federici's Polygram. We did the music video at Soundplex Studios, which is in Pennsauken. Soundplex Studios was previously owned by Dick Clark.
Wow.
You know, it was his building, and you know, now a brother by the name of Koch, he owns it now, and Randy Weaver, who's one of the engineers that we use. And we will be doing some of the Cotton Club scenes there. I have Charlene Chamberlain. She's one of the persons who's, you know, getting some of the attire together for the 1920s.
Yes.
You know, and some of the stories, you know, that I know about the Cotton Club, you know, I know very well. You know, I do communicate with Yvonne Stewart, who I have an associate on some of my projects. She's matter of fact, that's Smokey Robinson's niece, and she also will be eventually recording a record on our label. And it probably redo If I Were Your Woman. That's a record that she really wants to do. So we may re-record that with her.
Yes.
Yeah. And I have a group called the Mark Stinger Band. They're on Soul Records. You know, there's a record right now called I Fell in Love. If you go to soulrecordsllc.com, you can see some of the songs and some of the artists from before and now. I Fell in Love is by Exclusive Soul. Matter of fact, we released it, you know, quite a few years after we recorded it. Because we actually recorded it in Sigma Sound in Philadelphia.
Sigma Sound.
You know, the sound of Philadelphia, you know, TSOP. Matter of fact, I guess Sigma Sound probably got more hit records came out there than any other recording studio in the world.
I know a lot of people don't realize all the stuff that came out of Sigma Sound and Philly, the sound of Philly. A lot of people don't even realize
no doubt. You know, John Huff, Kenny Gambles, a whole bunch of other things I can tell you that I'll save for later. But, you know, Billy Paul was my neighbor. And we're eventually going to have a Walk of Fame in New Jersey.
Well, that's gonna be nice.
Camden, because, you know, a lot of guys probably don't know. That's where the recording business started in Camden, New Jersey.
In Camden?
Yeah, Victor Records.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Victor Records, first recording company in the world.
Yeah.
And everybody in the recording business came to Camden to record at one time. Nat King Cole, Elvis Presley, Enrico Caruso, Frank Sinatra. Anybody in the recording business had to come to Camden and record at Victor Records. You know, and the gentleman Graham Alexander, he actually had Victor Records now. He inherited, you know, from his grandparents, I believe it was. Great grandparents. You know, I think his dad played with the Hooters. You know, he's from, he has an event that he does in Berlin, New Jersey. I think he calls it the Vault or something like that.
Right.
But in Soundplex Studios, where we'll do some of the filming, if you get a chance to see Lady Jules, you know, music video, If You're Tired of Me or Until That Moment, those 2 videos were actually done in the Soundplex Studio. Soundplex Studio is, you know, a pretty phenomenal place. You know, working on some projects up there now. Frank Green, you know, who's part of Exclusive Soul. We're going to redo What Does It Take to Win Your Love for Me, which was already on Soul Records 50 years ago by Junior Walker and All Stars, who recorded she recorded Shotgun on Soul Records too.
Shotgun,
matter of fact, that was a dance in the 60s. That was on the label. But the Exclusive Soul, you know, like I said, we recorded the record that we had over in Sigma Sound, but, you know, it's on the label, and, you know, you can find it on YouTube and, you know, Amazon or wherever music is, you can find it there.
Yeah.
You know,
Wow.
There's some of the things. I don't know if there's anything special that somebody might want to ask me. Or,
Now, what was your creative process like?
when you say creative,
You like, as far as your creative process on, everything that you've done in life. What is your best creative process was like?
You mean what project I think
Yeah,
is the
the
best
project,
of things that I've done?
Yes.
I guess my best accomplishment would probably be Soul Records because, I consider everything I did as a good accomplishment. Even when we was on the set of Superfly, I'm not in it, but I did give up my coat.
Oh.
And KC, one of the, international players from here,
Okay.
he helped fund it. That was his Cadillac Ron O'Neal drove. Two dentists helped fund it, which two dentists are very well known for helping make, finance movies. But Soul Records has to be my main and probably, my best accomplishment because, Barry Gordy was the foundation of really, really soul music in this country. Matter of fact, when he started Motown in Detroit, it was a spin-off of Anna Records, which Anna Gordy's sister had.
Right.
And I think the first label was Tamla, maybe.
Yeah, I think it was
and then
Tamla. Yeah,
Barry
Tamla.
did Soul Motown. But when you think about real good down-home music, you automatically think of soul music.
Yeah.
I mean, do you like good music? Do you like soul
music?
So when Barry Gordy got rid of the label, Soul Records became available, I was able to acquire it. And acquiring that label meant so much because, the history that people don't know. See, when you look at Barry Gordy starting, look at all the people that he created, music for, and Temptations, Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, who was one of his major writers, Diana Ross and the Supremes. He had a whole lot of little labels, but when soul became available, and then see, it was also like a little dream come true to me because when I was real young, Soul Records, I heard it through the grapevine, I must have a stack of them Soul Records. And I always say, I would love I could have a label like this. Some guy made sure that I wound up with Soul Records, There's an article in Hollywood called Resurrection of Soul Records, and I wanted to keep the legend alive and the history alive.
Wonderful.
I got a good question. So, what made you jump from, I don't want to necessarily say jump, but go from law? How did you go from law to the business, entertainment business?
Well,
what made you, how did you?
Well, he didn't just mention law to me one time. He said he was teaching at one time too.
Right. I'm just wondering how did you? What made you
fifth grade 1 year.
Yeah.
I taught at Wigan School in Camden. That was the 5th grade. I taught for 1 year. I got a little plaque from the governor for that. Because, our school was, and the kids were supposed to be, kind of the worst in the state.
Yes.
And so then at the end of the year, they was like one of the best in the state.
Oh, that's awesome.
They thought I was, sneaking stuff through to them, which I wasn't. And so what happened was they made them take the state test again, and they all passed it. Wow. I think it was my technique of coming down, communicating with them a little different than the average teacher would do, but I already knew that my technique wouldn't be lasting. So
you say that wasn't your thing, really.
There was no need for me to continue to be that. That wasn't my calling anyway.
That was your calling, right?
Yeah, I was a special agent with the DA for about 3 months. That wasn't working either.
Yeah, jack of all trades.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I always tell the players I'm the jack of all trades.
Well, that's all right. You tried something, You tried something and it wasn't for you, and it was okay.
Yeah, but I always knew the music was because my mother sent me to a accordion school when I was 10 years old.
Okay.
And, however that came about, you got that right.
Yeah.
You said accordion?
Yeah, I was playing accordion.
Wow.
And you know what? One of the first songs I played, I did a solo on with Golden Slippers. And you know what? That's Philadelphia's Mummers.
Oh, not the Mummers.
That's their landmark tune song. And you know what? People don't know that James Bland, a black guy, he wrote that song, and a lot of people have no idea that he actually wrote it. He wrote, "Oh Virginia." What he wrote that for, I don't know, but that was one that he wrote. He wrote a lot, and so many. As a matter of fact, so many talented people out here fell by the wayside that people didn't have no idea who they were. That's why I'm working on a western called Deadwood. And it's I know there's been a movie, Deadwood.
Is a western called that?
Yeah.
I heard of that.
Before, but like all the other films people make, mine's is gonna be authentic. Mine's a real Deadwood. You know what I mean? I done wrote some of the soundtrack. We sing some of it, we rap some of it. It comes out real good. It's called Deadwood. Is a mining town with outlaws, too many to mention. Gunslingers and dancehall swingers just to draw your attention. Deadwood Dick and Rawhide Rick, outlaws Frank and Jesse James. Billy the Kid, who knows what he did, I can't recall all the names. So when you get a chance, I mean, that's just some of it, But it's I'm a character in it. We may still be casting somebody for Deadwood Dick, which is Nat Love.
Okay.
Oh, you casting for Nate Love. I was up there like.
Yeah, I have an artist, that dealt with Jay-Z and a million other people. So far, he may wind up being a character. He fits the description. He's really, really good. And he's been working with me on some things already.
Nice.
Oh, wow. Now, let me ask you this question. Have you ever had to handle a difficult situation, conflict, or in your career? And what did you do? You learn about it? What you learned from?
I mean, I've had a lot of difficult situations. Some of them came up good, and some came up bad. What would be the most difficult situation?
And what did you learn from it? Like, any kind of difficult situation, conflict that you dealt with in your career, and what did you learn from it?
Well, that's okay. I can go way back. I can go back to the set of Superfly. Matter of fact, you know what? When I think about Superfly, Charles McGregor, he was a drug addict. He was shooting heroin and everything.
Dang.
And when they was casting the film, KC, he was, keeping it real with you. He was like one of the top pimps in America. And he had the car, which was that, Excalibur. No, it was the El Dorado. And that's the one that they used for the film that Ryan O'Neal drove. So, they don't call themselves pimps no more, it's players. So anyway, so KC, he had quite a bit of little money, so he paid for mostly everything. In Sig Shore, he was spending his few dollars. His wife was buck mad with him because, you spending your money trying to make some black film crazy, and I think he might have had a Volkswagen or something, but, she ain't want to hear it. But it turned out to be successful, real successful.
Wow.
Curtis Mayfield came and did the soundtrack. And that soundtrack
awesome.
Superfly soundtrack was phenomenal. The new generation tried to do, Superfly, but they can't mess with the original. You can't never top the original. It's difficult because the original is actually the way it is.
How you want top phrase dead? That's what I say.
Now going back to Charles McGregor, he come out of prison, and most of the actors were guys that you actually got off the street. I knew Ryan O'Neal real well. Matter of fact, I gave him my coat, think that's what he was wearing. In the movie. But what happened is they needed another guy, and I told Charles, I said, to come over and. Because I was originally going to be a part of it. I got some pictures I can show you guys later of me on the set, hanging out or whatever the deal is. But I was starting out to be an actor, but, it was just so much work sometimes, and I was so busy doing something else. Because when they did a Broadway play, I think one of them was What the Wine Cellars by Dick Williams, I come down there a couple of days and they practicing and rehearsing all day. I said, man, I can't be doing this crap all day long. Right?
Oh, wow.
And, then I went on the set with him when he played in a movie called Dog Day Afternoon.
Yeah.
That was the first time I met Al Pacino, because it might have been his first movie.
Right.
Because he played in it. And, you know, it was not long after the guy, it was based on the actual incident where the guy tried to rob the bank, I think maybe to get a sex change operation or get his boyfriend a sex change operation. I forget how the story actually went. But getting back to Superfly, when Charles McGregor came, Charles McGregor, he was actually a thief because he was a heroin addict. So, he was casing the joint. And then I said, well, look, you really ain't going to be able to do this. You know what I mean? I give you something. I said, because you can't do this because then it's going to be looked on me. I said, because, you here, you stealing this and stealing that. And then I had to get a little, I was a little gangster back then. Matter of fact, I asked people, they used to call me Little Bumpy. They said, oh, still do. Look on my website. Yeah, you see a couple guys every now and then say, hey, Bumpy, what's up? So anyway, he went through and did everything correct. And then he said to me one day, he said, man, you know what? I don't even want to do drugs no more. I want to act.
Oh, wow.
And he wound up being a lot of stuff. He started a re-entry program for juveniles and ex-offended.
Wow.
He's the same guy, they had him play a drug part where he overdosed. And that's where the song, Freddy's Dead. That's what I said. Now, fast forward, check this out. When we were filming Chase Street, there was a scene that if you see it, you'll see there's a scene with a white guy overdosed.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
Jennifer.
Yeah, exactly.
That was
Yeah,
crazy.
Jennifer was playing.
Oh, Jennifer was playing that
sister.
one. Okay.
She was playing
his sister. And the guy who's playing that scene, they had an actor who was supposed to be on the set a certain time to film. And he wasn't there. Michael Johnson was there, did his part. Everybody waiting for him. So little Nate Banks, I think, and Thomas Freeman was saying, well, I don't know what we're going to do about this. So I said, let me go see if I can find somebody. So I come past a methadone clinic.
No.
This true story. And this guy is standing out there with his girlfriend. She's in it too now. So anyway, I asked him, I said, hey man, how would you like to be in a television series called Chase Street? He said, for real? I said, yeah, we got a scene where you're going to, you're a drug addict, you take a drug.
So he played that part. He
came and he played the part. Thomas Freeman made up some old stuff, was like a vomit. He did that job so well.
Yeah.
People said, wow, who is this? And then he called me up, he said, man, do you know what? He said, man, I don't even want to do drugs no more. I just want to be an actor. I said, that's the same thing that Charles McGregor said to me about in 1971 or 1972.
And that's what you call method acting. That's definitely a method actor.
Look what you did. I mean, look what you did. You tried, got him involved in the film, and then he came and wanted to be an actor.
Yeah,
he wanted to clean himself up.
That's
wonderful.
He said, that's exactly what he said. He said, man, I don't want to do drugs no more. I just want to do this.
Oh, wow.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So that's good.
And
so you got connected with him, and he.
Yeah, and I think back with Charles McGregor. Here it is, he became, everybody knew Freddy's dead. That's what I said, right? And he became, he got books out that he wrote before he died.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. That's wonderful. Now, any actor that, you dealt with a lot of different actors, right? And if they were ever unprofessional, how would you handle that? How did you manage that situation?
Let me see, unprofessional.
Like anybody you might have dealt with in the past.
Yeah, I know one or two people that was unprofessional. I don't even mess with them. They too unprofessional.
Well, you just knew how to handle it.
Yeah, I did. I never really had no real bad situations. I guess the worst situations I ever had was probably when I was a teenager when in Camden, we used to have different little sections to fight the other section.
Oh, wow.
And, Parkside to fight Centerville. But, at that particular time, nobody never shot or killed anybody.
Right.
And everybody grew up to be friends.
Were you from Camden?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I was born in Mount Holly, but I was raised in Camden. And we got a thing called OOG that we're working on. And some of the guys, even one of the gospel guys that were recording, these were guys that we actually fought each other when we was growing up. You know, because even one of the guys, I swore to God I was gonna murder him whenever I got my hands on him. But you know, we friends now. And I'm recording the guy.
Well, you did a lot of good ones, good things.
That was because
This could have been a different interview.
Yeah, that was because we were up on Morford Street and at the top, and you know, I don't know if you guys know it or not. I think they changed the name of Morford Street now. I think that's called Leon Huff Way. They named it after Leon Huff, songwriter, because I think he was from that street. You know, but we all grew up. You know, unlike today. I mean, nobody killed one another. We all grew up to be friends, and today, I mean, it's like, you know, nobody fist fights anymore.
Not
They sure don't.
It's always, you know, I mean, you know, they wind up killing one another for no reason, and you know, and it's really a shame. And
it is.
You know, and you know, this is I don't know whether or not this is a shout out for or against the government, you know, because because you know, the government got so many little laws and stuff that they make. Like when she asked me why I decided to get into law, well, I didn't even go back to rowing until '83. And at that time, me and my brother had a record label called Mac Dad Records. You know, but we at that particular time, me, Sidney Brown, who was one of the writers, with Leon Huff and Kenny Gamble, he was one of the writers of the Mighty Three Music Company, which was Tom Bell, Leon Huff, and Kenny Gamble. And, you know, heck of a music writing team, because they got like over 3,000 hit records, which is a lot. You know, and, you know, I know they went and tried to get a job with Barry Gordy. Barry Gordy said, I don't need no more writers. I got Holland, Dowser, Holland, Holland, Dowser, Holland, Smokey Robinson. He went on, and that was a blessing, because when Gamble and Huff came back and started Philadelphia International Records, they wound up becoming #1 in the world through a part of the '70s.
Wow.
You know, they did the soundtrack for Soul Train. That, you know, matter of fact, the Sound of Philadelphia, the soundtrack actually is the soundtrack for Soul Train. Don Cornelius said one time, he said, damn, Ernst, you know, some people call me Ernst. He said, damn, Ernst, I should have called that Soul Train in the beginning. But he didn't want to name it Soul Train for whatever reason. And so it became known as the Sound of Philadelphia. You know, but, you know, Kenny Gamble used to always put on his music. There's a message in the music. And today, I don't really know if there's really a message in the music.
Because you can't understand it, because everybody's mumble rap.
Yeah.
That's the message.
Yeah, I mean, you know what, the best
marbles
music
out
was
your
the
mouth.
best. I mean, you know, back in the day was the best music to me. You know, I felt like, you know, you don't hear all that cursing and all that stuff, and I mean, it's almost like, just to listen to the back in the day music make you feel like you've fallen in love again. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, it just feels like, it's just, especially the slow songs and everything, and all the, I listen to the Quiet Storm and a lot of the oldies they bring out. It just sounds great to me.
You know, the OJs, when they recorded, you know, one of the Huff and Gamble's I Love Music, you know, the healing voice of the world and all that kind of stuff. You know, I mean, music is like that. You know, I mean, because even the Bible, I mean, they use music. You know, the certain psalms that were written were basically music. Right. And for some reason or another, now some of the writers, you know, they're directing their music to street negativity, and that promotes more street negativity. You know, and somewhere along the line it has to be diverted. You know, I'll say I'm gonna give a great shout out to Jay-Z, Dr. Dre, you know, even Kanye. You know, I think he's off the hook sometimes. But the reason I'm giving a shout out to some of them guys is because, and 50 Cent, is because these guys all started out in the hood, even LL Cool J. You know, they started out, selling drugs and different things like that. You know, but as they woke up and grew, and they became professional. And as they became professional, they started doing professional things. Like the Bible say, I did childish things when I was a child, but when I became a man, I did things men do. And I noticed that Dr. Dre the other day, he just gave, I think, $10 million to one of the schools in Compton. You know, to help educate some of his people in the neighborhood he grew up at. And now I see where recently quite a few young hip hop guys been arrested and being charged under the RICO Act for racketeering, influence, corrupt organization. I just saw it on the news the other day. And my thought about that is that there's two things I think about. And one of them is that if you already got to a level where now you're living in a multi-million-dollar home, driving luxury BMWs or Rolls Royces and all this, then why would you go back and start doing stuff that you no longer need to be doing? Now, I have two aspects about that. You know, I could be right and I could be wrong.
I got one too.
One aspect is it's really naive and illiterate for some of these guys who have climbed through the hole to become successful to go back down in the hole to buy narcotics to distribute on their street. And these films like Godfather Harlem perpetrating the wrong picture because Bumpy had an exterminating company to exterminate people in Harlem, and he had an Italian driver that he charged people in the Italian neighborhoods and other areas of New York and Philadelphia where they did, and New Jersey where they did extermination. He didn't sell drugs through his exterminating company. One thing Bumpy always said, I can't stand no roaches. I hate a roach more than a rattlesnake or something else to say. But on the quick statement about the youngsters, I don't know if sometimes by going after these guys on the RICO and snatching guys who actually had no drugs, did nothing, I wonder if the government is trying to prevent them from becoming another Jay-Z or another Dr. Dre.
But some of them, one of the problems is a lot of them, not all of them, are dipping and dabbling. So a lot of times, even though they've reached this height, they never really gave that up. They just kind of put it in their back pocket, or some of them never just put it in their back pocket. They just kept on doing it, and they don't realize you can't do what certain people can do. There's other people who can do that, and I'm not saying it's right, and they get away with it. You do it, and you locked up for 25 years. Or something,
Well, that could be very well true. I mean, some of them could, as you say, get through the hole and still dipping in the past.
Right.
You guys are probably familiar with Akbar Prey because Thomas Friedman got a documentary he's working on called 848 about all the guys that were charged under that 848 statute. Right. And Akbar Prey, who I know very well, he's in prison. He's probably been in there for 35 years maybe. And I mean, it's hard for me to believe he actually, was doing what he's doing, but he evidently did. But I think in his situation, he deserves to be released from prison because he was a fight promoter. He was doing quite a few positive things. I think his son is a councilman, and I know that Harry O is out. Snoop Dogg went to Donald Trump, and he went up, giving him a pardon. So I know he's free.
Your memory is full, and you have to clean up your Android.
Is that? What is that? I know that ain't my phone, is it?
No. I think we're going to go to a commercial.
Okay.
Commercial break. I didn't know. Okay. That was part of telling us the commercial was coming, I guess.
Oh,
that's what that was.
I thought that was my phone acting
up.
No. My phone ain't
commercial break.
Now,
Well, we are here. We're starting now. Go live. All right, we're back.
We're back.
All right, so we're back.
You got about 15 minutes of me on here with nothing.
We're back. It's okay.
15.
We're good.
No, it's 5.
It's good.
5 minutes. That's what we have, a 5-minute commercial. We have to have a 5-minute commercial.
Well, I don't know, you guys. I'm just a guess.
Yes. Yeah. So, what were you saying about what are your future goals? Do you plan on doing other movies or?
Oh, absolutely. Daywood the film,
Mhm.
finished the Black Caesar movie, and Cotton Club of Harlem. I expect to do some more too. besides that.
Wow. Yes. So I didn't hear no one to call up 443-522-3988. Call up if you have any questions. I know the phone is on. We don't hear anybody calling up, so just letting you know the phone is on. We're listening. We're waiting for you to call up. Ask any questions. We have a great guest, and he's talking about a lot of things from back in the day and a lot of good stuff about the music industry, a lot of good stuff about the movie industry. So call up and listen and call up and if you have some questions that we can answer, or if you have some answers for that, you can call on up. All right. So what would you say, Sharon?
I did have one question. Last question. Do you think that your legal background helped you in the business? Because a lot of times in this business, how people get scammed and things like that. And they don't know about owning the rights to their music and things like that. I am going to go way back to Sam Cooke. Sam Cooke, for instance, was one of the first people who actually owned all his music. And I think a lot of people nowadays, they don't know. I mean, back then didn't know the legal ins and outs. Mm-hmm. So, do you think that helped you in your business?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Knowing law helps out. Absolutely. Because that's how I've been able to do trademarks and so many different things. Form LLCs and start publishing companies with BMI, ASCAP, and all that. Because basically, the law is what runs the country. Mm-hmm. So definitely, the law, definitely, one thing Barry Gordy was said to me, one of the things was when I got soul record was if I knew what to do, and being I have a degree in law, I did know what to do. So that's part of how I acquired it.
That's true. We have Dr. Roc over here. Dr. Roc is a published author. Yes. She wrote a book, and she has her extensive background in education. Mm-hmm. Dr. Roc,
yes,
has really I'm just so impressed about
Yeah, that's very impressive.
Yes, yeah, and I'm an actor, and I'm a model.
Yes.
I do a lot of things.
I did that too. I used to model with
Did you?
Ryan Odom. Yeah.
Ryan Odom, right.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Yes.
used to be in Black Romance, Jive, Brian's Thrills, and Black Confessions magazine.
Black Confessions.
Wow.
You're going way back.
Way back.
That's before your time, Dr. Roc.
Yeah.
You're just a youngin'.
Yes.
I don't know if I can put this out there or not, but Dr. Roc's husband, he was in them too.
Yes. He was on he was a part of it. Yes,
Dr. Roc?
He was in the magazine, couple magazines. He was in also. He told me, Roc Contee. He told me about the magazines that he was in. Yes. What was the name of the magazine that he was in?
Black Romance, Jive, Brian's
Black
Thrills,
Romance.
Yes.
What?
Black Confessions.
Yes.
Jaguar Connections.
Jaguar Connections.
Brother Earl was in Black Confessions.
Yes, he was in them too. That's why I said we had a lot in common. Because I was in a couple magazines.
But I am Brother Earl.
And so was he.
Mm-hmm. But I am Brother Earl, Roxanne.
But he was a model also,
Wow.
and did some acting.
Yeah, that's how I met.
Ron Odom?
Ryan Odom, yeah, because I was working for him. But I must be getting old because I'm forgetting the guy's name that played Richard Roundtree.
Richard Roundtree, yes.
Because he was modeling too.
Oh, that was
Yeah, and he also he used to be in the Ebony Fashion Fair and all that stuff. And they made the movie Shaft and Isaac Hayes did a heck of it. I think Isaac Hayes did get I believe Oscar.
I think he did get an Oscar.
He may have gotten an Oscar and a Grammy for that.
Yep, he did get an
that
Oscar.
was a phenomenal soundtrack. And if you guys know it, That story was based around some of Bumpy's life.
Really?
Yeah, because you know
Wow.
Bumpy helped pay for guys to go to school, and guys became worked with the government. And in the story, Shaft, Moses Gunn plays Bumpy, but they call him Bumpy something else. But he's playing
Bumpy Johnson.
Yeah, yeah, but they ain't call him Bumpy Johnson and Shaft. They call him Bumpy Rhymes or something. I forget.
Yeah.
But the story is based around Bumpy. Margaret gets kidnapped by the mafia, and he hires a guy, and he go out and get guys from the neighborhood, and Bumpy pays all them to go get his kid back. And so that's based on that. It's an exaggerated story, but the concept came from, things that, that was around Bumpy. Matter of fact, for anybody that's seen Escape from Alcatraz, now this is a true story. I think in one of the movies, maybe I forget who played it. Maybe I can't remember who starred in the movie. It might be Clint Eastwood. But in the movie, you'll see where one of the guys say, "Go tell Bumpy that we're trying to break out so that nobody else will say nothing."
Okay.
'Cause when Bumpy got sent to Alcatraz, he got framed on that.
Wow.
The FBI tried to get a guy named Flash Walker, who used to sometimes drive Bumpy once in a while,
Wow.
to go and say he got drugs from Bumpy, and he didn't. And the FBI just went ahead and said, "Well, forget it. We just said we got it from him anyway."
Okay.
We'll show some of that in our scenes.
Yes.
And so that's how you wind up, in Alcatraz at the time. But so many stories out here have a connotation to it that sometimes people don't really get. Like when I think it was Albert Anastasia was killed, and the FBI came around to see Bumpy's wife, and asked her, said, "Why was Albert's body, when they found it, he had Bumpy's phone number in his pocket?" Said, "I don't know why he had Bumpy's phone number in it. Bumpy gave everybody his phone number."
Right.
Which is real. "Hey Bumpy, what's your phone number? Here, come here." So everybody had Bumpy's phone number. One of the ladies in Harlem said that she'd been all downtown trying to get a job one time, and she couldn't get a job. At that time, it was pretty prejudiced, and a lot of places weren't hiring black people to work. And somebody said, when she walked back up to Harlem, they said, "You should go ask Bumpy to get you a job." So she went over by Wells Restaurant. That's where you could always catch Bumpy. Eat chicken and waffles or chicken and grits day and night. And she come in and told him that she wanted to get a job. Bumpy said, "Where you want to work at?" So she named one of the super department stores downtown Manhattan. So Bumpy wrote her a note, said, "Go down there tomorrow and give this to the manager." She went there, that manager took the note, went in the back, came back, said, "You got this from Bumpy Johnson?" She said, "Yeah."
Wow.
He said, "Okay, when do you want to start working?" And she said she went there, they wouldn't hire her before. So, he did a whole lot for different people. In Atlantic City, Reggie Edgehill and Ike Nicholson, he used to give them money. And like when Martin Luther King used to come through there, to make sure that he feed them and take care of everybody. Because a lot of you guys may not know, Martin did live in Camden, New Jersey before. On Walnut Street when he was going to school.
Yeah.
Heard about that.
Yes. You said Martin
Luther King.
Martin Luther King, yeah. But the other, I been thinking about the other one's funny. He is so funny, comical. I like his shows though.
Denny's cousin, Denny creator of Chase Street. He made it cousin.
World.
Yeah, so you know what? You can tell everybody how to reach you. The audience, tell the audience how to reach you.
Yeah, they can reach me at Erskine 1952 at yahoo.com. They can call Soul Records or Mighty Works Media at 609-880-3207. And also at Mighty Works Media at yahoo.com.
Okay. So they can reach you. Hey, reach out. And the callers, we didn't hear any callers come in. 443-522-3988. We're supposed to call up callers. But that's, if you have any questions or you want any answers, you can call up.
And you can also go to our websites too, at soulrecordsllc.com and Mighty Works Media is mightyworksmediallc.com.
Mighty Works Media.
Yes.
Okay, LLC.com.
Yeah.
All right, so so everybody heard that. If you would like to reach out, you would like to be a star, and you want to be a part of Robert Johnson's movie production, different things that he's doing, then reach out to him. Yeah, reach out. And so we're going to get ready to close. And we have different things going on today. And so we want to close soon. So I'm going to give Sharon the opportunity to close. And then we all have a part in this.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, everybody. I just want to say thank you so much, Mr. Robert Erskine. Did I say it right? Erskine Johnson, for being on the show today. Oh my gosh, you were just such a wealth of information. We need to have a part 2 because there's so much more that we I didn't even get to ask, but time didn't permit. But we just want to thank you. Thank you once again, Dr. Roc, for always having me on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Brother Earl. You off my list, Brother Earl. So I'm gonna shout out back to Brother Earl.
He on mine.
Yeah. Shout out to Brent. Hey, Brent Jolly.
Yes.
Thank you, and
Yes.
that's it. And I'll see everybody same time next month.
Yes. All right. Oh, let's give Brother Robert a chance to close out, and then it'll be my turn.
Be here, and everybody have a pleasant weekend, and God bless you.
All right. God bless. Well, what I would like to say as the host of Dr. Roxanne Contee Show, I enjoyed you. You have a lot of information that's wonderful. A lot of things that's going on in music, not just music, movies, and and my husband and I definitely would like to be a part of your production. Anytime you have movies coming out, we would like to be a part of it. And I know Sharon's a part of it. And we would like to be.
You were actually supposed to be a part of it.
I was supposed to be
but you couldn't. You had something to do, so you weren't able to.
Yes, I was supposed to be in that movie Chase. I was supposed to be in that movie Chase. And something came up, and I was not able to be in it that day. I forget what it was, but I know it was something important because I definitely would have been in that show.
And she would have.
And I couldn't wait because we are 2B girl. I'm a Netflix. We love movies, and we look at movies all the time. It could be nice outside. We'd be in the house looking at movies. There's no problem. Or we'll go to a movie theater. But we love movies, so I would have definitely been in here. And I know Sharon was in there.
Yeah.
What part did you play? Tell me, Sharon, what part did you play?
I played FBI agent, and it was kind of weird because I'm pretty laid back. I don't but I'm telling you, something about when I put that uniform on and that badge, I was just ready to bust heads. I don't know what came over me. I'm not like that, Dr. Roc. I don't know.
Yeah. But she she did play good. She played good. That role was definitely played a good role on being security. Was you was the security guard, right?
That's FBI.
Oh yes, that's right. Cause you was in the truck with the guy talking to a guy in the truck, and you jumped out. So I did see it. That's why I said I seen it. I'm gonna look at it again because it's nice to look at. When people and their friends are in the show, I like to look at it over.
I gotta learn to be more dainty and like Dr. Roc. Oh, lady and dainty.
Yeah. Well, I would have played those type of parts. You know me.
I know.
I definitely would play. Look, whatever you need. Look, whatever I could have been in it. I know that I was going to play in the part. I think it was a scene in the bar or the restaurant. I'm not sure. I remember I was supposed to play in your scene. It could have been the restaurant. I know it was one of them.
She'd have been the flyest FBI agent. Do you hear me? She would have had an FBI agent. She'd have been fly, okay? You fly.
Yes. But I want y'all to tune in now. We do my podcast only on once a month, third of the month, hopefully the third of the month. Sometimes our dates get messed up, so sometimes it might be the end of the month. It's going to be at the end of the month. Usually it's always at the end. So I want y'all to tune in always from 12 to 2. Time change sometimes, but I'm saying 12 to 2. That's the way we want to keep it. So tune in, friends, family. Thank you for watching. God bless you all and have a blessed day.